APG crew, what is up? Doing some back-to-back videos, just wrapped up one of getting the transmission and brackets and bolts and stuff back into our 02 Honda Civic. Right now we're going into suspension. I got one control arm on. Kind of scouted that one out, wasn't bad. But we're finally getting into some of our goodness here. Stand by. Boom, there, control arm. So, hope y'all caught that. All right, throwing that stuff on. Just trying to button this thing back and put it back on its own four wheels, get its feet back underneath it. So, let's see how this goes. Okay, so we're back with a driveway rebuild. We do have new rotors, so we're going to disassemble this, but, and I get it, it's not terrible. We're not doing a rotisserie restoration on a 2002 Honda Civic, but if we're going to do this, I kind of want to do it right. So I think when I disassemble this, I'm going to knock the rust and everything off of it, hit it with a Vice Grip Garage little rebuild, just some satin black, something. Basically whatever I have laying around, some type of satin black, flat black, something like that, just to, I don't know, it just feels wrong putting a bunch of rusty crusty back on when you're doing all this. So yeah, we're gonna do that. The lower control arms are in, and not that the other ones were bad, but these already had the bushings built into them, so I just went ahead. One bushing's there, and the bushing's there. Just went ahead and did that versus using the other ones and pressing the other ones out and putting the new ones in, and it may have been easy enough, who knows, but went ahead and wrapped this up just because I don't know if I'm getting into it in the next 5 minutes or in 5 days. So, and I've got those, the other ends of the axles that went into the transmission. I put grease on those too. Did a little coat of grease on these after hitting them with wire brush. Same thing on the insides. So that's kind of where we're at. Again, getting into brakes and suspension. We have new control arm. You can see that those are pretty nasty. So yeah, just trying to get a game plan together. APG, what is up? I know we're already into the video, but for today, day after Thanksgiving, I'm sitting here mulling over a project. I need your input, your take on this. I already had a neighbor come over and justify for me. So I'm mulling over a little glass of sweet tea. So let's go over this. I'm horrible about snowballing on projects, which is not very productive with money, and it is not very productive with time. But let me show y'all what I got going here. So you see down in there, you're gonna make me put my tea down, aren't you? All right, you see down in there our steering rack and all the leaks. And when Jake was driving this, he said he kept getting puddles down in driver's side floorboard, and the power steering fluid reservoir was going empty about every like 2 to 3 days. So obvious that our rack down there is leaking. So I'm fixing to put tie rod ends and all this kind of stuff into this. And I think we just need to pull the whole rack. Not that I want to put more money into this, but if we're already in there, then let's do it right. I'm already like pushing myself back on some things of, if we're gonna do it, let's do it right. But no, we're not doing a full restoration on this thing. Yeah, and just spending more time and stuff like that. Like the steering knuckles, those don't have to be wire wheeled and painted up and all that kind of stuff. Like, just not getting bogged down in this and stuck in the weeds. But if I order a new steering rack without tie rods, I've already got new inner tie rod ends and the outers, all that stuff for the front suspension. O'Reilly's is like $323, Rock Auto's $287, but then today, which is Black Friday, and the two other, I posted 2 videos today, first time in a while, but 2 videos, you're welcome. On Amazon, Detroit Axle's got one for $155. So I'm kind of thinking, let's pull a steering rack. Even if this vehicle doesn't stay in our circle of friends or family and we're selling it, are we going to get our money back out of it at this point? No, we are not. But at least it will be functional and it'll be done right. Right? Maybe. Done better? Maybe not right. Let's see. Alright, so we're going to get into this. Seatbelt in place to keep the steering wheel in place as we're dealing with steering stuff. Already removed this plastic shroud from the underside of the dash. And if you can see in here, I've marked this U-joint for the steering column so we can keep our placement. Fixing to remove those pinch bolts. Pretty sure they're 10 millimeter. I'm gonna remove those pinch bolts so we can start to get this steering rack out of there. All right, these are my confessions. Sometimes we may get so fixated on a project that you just get your head so far up the exhaust that you're not paying attention to what you're doing, okay? So I would like to admit that I haven't been battling a bolt for the last hour and a half. Let me show you what goodness I did. All right, we are back on the Civic, our money pit so far. Could have got a boat or an 02 Honda Civic, and we went with this. So maybe should have got a boat. Maybe got a little more fun out of it. We're fixing to throw Monroe quick struts in. We did go ahead and do a new rack and pinion. We got that installed day before yesterday. Wasn't terrible to get in there. If you want to know all the ins and outs of that, watch a video of how to do that, because I did not, obviously. We've got Ultra Power. This all came from Rock Auto. These did. Rack and Pinions Detroit Axle. Actually came off Amazon. They had that rebuilt on sale. So this is Ultra Power, inner tie rod, and then your outer tie rod ends. Got those on. Did our thread counts, all that appropriately off of the original ones that came off. So we're fixing to start hopefully trying to just button all this stuff up and get her wrapped up. May do some cleaning. I've thought about doing maybe some painting just to clean it up a little bit, but really I need to just button it up and be done with it. So let's see. I was gonna say, I don't think there's anything really interesting else to tell you. Really just need to throw bolts in this thing and be done. Let's get those struts in. All right, so we got the quick struts in. Just as advertised, it is quick struts. I just set on brake cleaner, so that's a nice little cold thing. Right up the tailpipe. So, quick strut is in, tie rod is in. My dumb self went ahead and installed the axle. Great, awesome, well done. Went ahead and even put the crimp in it, which pretty much not castle nut, sorry guys, hub nut. Put that in. What I did not do was put the lower ball joint in. And there is zero clearance to get it in with the axle in the way. So, that's got to come back off. Probably can't reuse it. Probably shouldn't reuse it. But those are $8 a piece. So that's awesome. Let's add more money to this lost cause. And get that off. Get the lower ball joint in. And get new ones reinstalled and recrimped. Awesome. Good times. Alright, so we got these dudes back on without an issue. Did get lower ball joints in, finally. Did not have a true press for it, but used the old socket wrench and clamp and squeeze those on, got the clips in place. Fixing to throw on stabilizer bar. Running across through here, I believe JT had painted that up originally when he was going to be driving this. So he had painted that up. We're going to get that on. We've got new sway bar links, all the bushings. I'm pretty sure I've mentioned it multiple times, but all the bushings in here will be new. So lower control arm, those bushings are new. Lower ball joint, upper tie rod or outer tie rod, and the whole tie rod is new. The inner tie rod is. We got the outer tie rod in. The stabilizer bar links are new. We got some for the rear, but they sent us two of the same side, I believe. I'll go double check myself on that. I may have just looked at it wrong. That is always a possibility. So, but again, now we're just trying to sell this thing, get rid of it, or find family or friend that can utilize it just for getting around. So we're just getting it buttoned up. The rear stabilizer bar links, I don't think they were bad. I think it was kind of because we're doing everything, changing everything else, we were just getting that changed also and threw them on there, and then of course they come in wrong. So get that rear stabilizer on there, and I would really like to get this thing down on its own wheels and going today. So we'll see. And Merry Christmas Eve. All right, if there's something I love more than doing disc brakes, it's rebuilding drum brakes. We got all the front buttoned up. I actually even did start it, and did shift it into gears. Didn't like let it roll or anything, but you could feel it engage and everything. So all that was very promising. Should I have recorded it? Absolutely. If a whole channel dependent on people actually watching and looking, you would think someone would record that stuff. But anyway, here we are. Drum brakes. To let you feel like a mechanic even though you're not, because there are some complications. So I don't know if you've ever done them, but they actually are kind of, if you like a little puzzle, maybe an easy to medium model kit, go with these. Got the Chilton book. Of course, we got the pulled my 4-wheel workbench out. We got our Chilton or Haynes or whatever it is, the manual with self-turning pages, so that's handy. Anyway, we're gonna get into all this, guys. We've got new drums going on, and then we've got full new kits going in with new shoes. Let's get after this. All right, so got all that button back up. It was a mess. Did it. What's better than doing drum brakes? Doing it twice. Because if you're not working in a sandy enough, a lot of grit area, what you want to do is make sure after you've greased the inside and cleaned it all up with brake clean and everything, you want to make sure and drop it in the sand and re-clean and get all that grit introduced. If the wind, if you something on the power steering. I'm trying to get y'all in there. Let's see. Yeah. So right there, it's leaking worse than the original, which means that that was probably my doing. So that's cool. I don't know, some of those O-rings in there, too much pressure can make it leak. Not enough pressure will make it leak. So, cool. Luckily, it's in a place where you just can't really access it while it's in there. So, I guess we'll be undoing that and redoing that. I'm about to close out this video because I'm about sick of this car. Engine runs good because it had no issues. Probably leaking oil though. Scratch that, it is leaking oil. But as long as it's leaking oil, at least you know it's got fresh oil in it, right? Yep.